Hello everyone, welcome back to English with Joe. Today I'm going to show you 20 idioms you can use to sound like an English native speaker. This video is really going to help you to improve your vocabulary. Without wasting any time, let's get started with the lesson. The meaning of idiom. An idiom is a phrase that when taken as whole has meaning you wouldn't be able to deduce from the meanings of the individual words. It's essentially the verbal equivalent of using the wrong math formula but still getting the correct answer. For example, kill two birds with one stone. Fluent and native English speakers understand that this doesn't refer to harming birds using stones. Usually say this idiom whenever someone is completing two tasks at once. When pigs fly. When pigs fly. If someone says, I will do it when pigs fly, it really means that they will never do it. Over the moon. Over the moon. Have you ever felt like jumping for joy? You feel that way when you are over the moon. This means you're extremely happy. Change of heart. Have a change of heart. Don't worry, no one is going to give you a heart transplant. Having a change of heart simply means that you've changed your mind about something. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. You might say this when a person has upset you and you want him or her to go away and leave you alone. Cut it out. Cut it out. Alternatively, you might say to a person who is irritating you, please cut it out. Cut it out. Hammer home. Hammer home. If you want to be really sure that someone understands what you're saying, then you need to hammer your point home. For instance, she repeated her point 3 times to really hammer it home. Wrap your brain around. Wrap your brain around. To understand something that is going to require more concentration and effort, you will need to wrap your brain around. Take a hint. Take a hint. This means to understand an indirect suggestion. Take a hint can also be used as a command or an exclamation. Let your hair down. Let your hair down. This expression is more often used as an advice to tell someone to rest or relax. It's Saturday night, you can let your hair down. A sweet tooth. A sweet tooth. To love sweet foods and flavors. To love sweet foods and flavors. For example, afraid I have a terrible sweet tooth. I eat far too much cake and candy. All set. All set. It means ready to go or proceed. For example, are you all set to go? We need to leave soon. An old soul. An old soul. It simply means that someone who seems to have more emotional insight and wisdom than other people the same age. For example, everyone said that Henry was an old soul. He seemed to have so much wisdom and insight for a 16-year-old boy. We usually say this about someone who is extremely open about themselves. For example, it was very easy to get to know Hannah. She was an open book and made friends easily. As quiet as a mouse. as quiet as a mouse. We usually say this about someone who is very quiet and reserved. For example, she's as quiet as a mouse. It seems like she hardly ever speaks. We usually say this about something good or perfect. For example, Maggie asked me how my work was going, and I told her the truth. That is as right as rain. As the crack of dawn. As the crack of dawn. It simply means extremely early in the morning. For example, they need to wake up at what seems like the crack of dawn in order to get there in time. A chip on your shoulder. A chip on your shoulder. It means that someone who is being upset for something that happened in the past. For example, I thought he forget about it, but he seems like he still has a chip on his shoulder. Drink like a fish. Drink like a fish. It means to drink very heavily. To drink very heavily. For example, after I found him in the desert, I gave him some water. He was drinking like a fish.